9 out of 10 guitarists get this one thing wrong when it comes to learning scales, and this one mistake not only stops them from improvising fluidly, but it also stops them from unlocking the fretboard, and it's something they should have been taught how to fix a long time ago. So what is this big mistake? Well, students will often learn a scale shape from a teacher, or from an online video, or from a magazine, and they'll learn one of those stereotypical box-like shapes, and they'll spend hours and hours practicing it, memorizing it, trying to master it and play it in every key. But I can hear what you're saying. What's wrong with those scale shapes? Why does that not work? Well, I was always told by my teacher that your playing is a reflection of your practice. So if you're spending hours and hours and hours blazing through these boxy scale shapes, playing vertically up and down, when it comes to playing, you'll play exactly the same way, because that's what you've taught yourself, right? Your solos will sound scalic, you'll be stuck in one spot on the fretboard, and you won't have the freedom to openly move around. So how do we solve it? Well, instead of playing our scales in these boxy shapes that we're all used to, like so, we should instead play across the neck, play horizontally, and that's going to open us up to so many different positions, different fingerings, and therefore different licks, different phrases. So instead of playing my major scale like so in this vertical shape, I can instead play horizontally throughout the neck like so. You can see how that is just taking me from here to here on the fretboard, instead of just playing up and down here in this position. And that's going to open me up to so many different phrasing opportunities. So now we've understood that we need to view the scales horizontally instead of vertically. Let me give you a few easy practice exercises that's going to help break you out of those scalic boxes. So my first exercise, and possibly one of my favourites as a young student, is to play a scale on one string. This is going to force you to think about intervals instead of scale shapes, and it's going to make your soloing more melodic. And then, like we've already talked about, it's going to break us out of that vertical shape and start getting us to move up and down the neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on a backing track, and I'm going to improvise using the G minor pentatonic scale on just one string, just to show you an example of how this works. Another great practice exercise I love to use with young students is to play a little numbers game. As you practice your scale shapes, pick a number between 1 and 8. I usually start around 4 or 5. As you play through the notes, count each one aloud. Once you've reached your chosen number, slide up to the next scale shape and keep playing through in the direction of travel. Repeat this continuously and you'll start to move freely between each scale shape. This is one of my favourite ways to practice scales, because it really does break you out of that vertical box, and it helps you move between the scale shapes, sometimes in positions where you wouldn't normally move. So you're really going to start adding some fluidity in between your scale shapes. You can either practice this between two shapes like I've just done in that example, or if you take the 5 pentatonic shapes, you can use it to play through all 5 and force yourself to travel between them in places you wouldn't necessarily make a transition. So there you have it. There's a few little exercises for you which you can use to hopefully break out of that vertical scale box and start moving horizontally on the neck. Remember, the aim here is to add some fluidity to your playing and hopefully make you sound a little bit more melodic and less scalic. If you found this video useful, do check out my links down below. I've got an online guitar school called Play Like a Pro, which is already being used by hundreds of students worldwide. It's the first one-stop guitar school taught by professional musicians like myself, and we also offer monthly mentoring check-ins where we can make sure you're getting the best education possible and are reaching your musical goals. So all of those links and more information about that are down below, but until then, I'll see you in the next one.